threatening to score, John. This would have a bad effect on Oklahoma should Texas go in.
I had a feeling, Texas has not moved the football well today at all. Only 222 in yardage coming into this drive right here, but they put it together. They're up 4. They can go up 11 if they score a touchdown.
And here is what they are playing for. The golden hat. They shine it up, John. It used to be a bronze hat, right?
That's right. They refurbished it back in 1950. It went from the bronze hat to the golden hat. So a little appreciation in the value of that thing.
Better guard it. 2nd and 4. Flip backs, Mitchell and Williams. It's Williams. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Longhorns.
Lewis, 82 come in motion, and he actually does the trapping on that play, and that's what seals everything in the middle. Derek Lewis, backup tight end, doing a great job. It's called a wham block. He gets to bang into his defensive lineman.
Dawson with the extra point. They did go wham on that last run.
Texas increasing its lead, courtesy of Ricky Williams. 24-13 when we return.
Some guy came into me after the race and asked me which Labonte was a better driver.
Oh, really? What'd you tell him?
I told him I was.
Well, why'd you tell him that?
I am.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Well, who won Richmond?
Well, who won Michigan?
Well, who won Bristol?
Who won Charlotte?
Well, who won the championship?
Oh, man.
Who drives the Monte Carlo?
Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more champions trust, including the better Labonte.
Who's the better athlete? Who's the better actor? Who's the better singer?
In an age of streamlining and downsizing, Chili's still makes its Big Mouth burgers by hand, one at a time, by a person. What this lacks in efficiency is more than made up for in taste. Chili's Big Mouth burgers, monuments of inefficiency.
Play football at Chili's this season. In every restaurant, you can win 2 round-trip tickets on Southwest Airlines to anywhere they fly. A football or Chili's Big Mouth burgers, all just for playing.
We have a wonderful 75 La Pouille Cabernet. Or an exquisite Féquier de Le Goût Semillon. Or a 62 Jevoux Pinot if you're in the mood for...
No. Enough of that old stuff. The lady and I would prefer something fresh. How about something in a lager? What do you got in a Budweiser from, say, early this month?
Budweiser, guaranteed fresh with born-on dates.
College football on ABC Sports brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. Visa is everywhere you want to be in Chili's Grill and Bar, home of the Big Mouth Burgers. Ricky Williams recently capping an 8-play, 80-yard drive with a 7-yard touchdown run, and Texas now holds a 24-13 lead. Chris Stockton set to kick off. Look at what Williams has done, both running and receiving. Good numbers today. There's a look at Stockton, and Stockton has pushed Phil Dawson in the kicking department this year. Well, Dawson, had that surgery on the left knee, and that's why they don't use him on kickoffs. On that plant knee, he had some surgery in the offseason, so they used Chris Stockton to kick off, less wear and tear than for Dawson. Dawson likes to mix it up a little too much on kickoffs, too. He'll go down and try and make a tackle. Daniels. A look from the end zone. Brandon Daniels down at the 32. Take a look at the touchdown. You're going to see great on, straight-ahead blocking right here. The trap play by Derek Lewis here allows these linemen to get to straight upfield, one-on-one blocking. Very simple approach. Watch 69 Dan Neal. Look at the block he gets on his man, Ryan Feebigger, to center. Blows his man well back, and that's just perfect execution. You run behind the strength of your offense. Those two linemen right there are the strength of the Longhorn offense. And you heard him say, "We're doing it for you, Earl." That's what Ricky Williams was saying. He was talking about Earl Campbell, of course. Let's go downstairs to Dean for more on Ricky Williams.
Yeah, guys, to follow up on that, here are the numbers for Ricky Williams. He came into the year with 69% of his yards after contact. Oklahoma doing a pretty good job of controlling him, only 92 yards rushing, only 31 yards after contact, 34%, but still, he's a stallion. 92 yards rushing, scored the touchdown, and he is a lethal combination of strength and speed.
You know, so far Oklahoma has shut him. They came in the game averaging 7.5 yards a pop. That's just about 5.5 so far today.
Justin Fuente completes this to James Allen. Allen with some nice moves out to the 39-yard line. He'll be about 3 yards short of the first down. It'll be third down and 3 to go. Fuente hitting just one of his last 7, pardon me, 2 of the last 7 passes. Dusty Renfro made the tackle that time.
A critical third down, though, for the Sooners. Down 11. They have to keep the drive alive here in this football game.
And they blithely sprint out of the huddle. The toss out of the eye. Allen. He's not going to make it. That play reminiscent almost of Stoney Clark stopping Allen 2 years ago. Trey Thomas, number 17, making the stop that time. Although when Stoney Clark made the tackle, it was a game saver down at the 2-yard line. Pivotal play and fourth down punting situations have been atrocious for the Sooners today. And number 82, Brian Lewis, is standing on his own 26, getting ready to punt. Mike Adams, number 83, standing on his own 16 for Texas. He gets off a great punt, a spiral, driving Adams back to the 10. Take a bow, Brian Lewis. It's been a tough afternoon for you. 48 yards on the punt, nothing on the return. The special teams telling the story. We'll be right back.
These two VCRs are identical, but the one on the right has something the other one doesn't. A lower price. Circuit City. You can't find a lower price. We guarantee it. Get more boombox for your buck. Circuit City. You can't find a lower price. We guarantee it.
Take a stroll down memory lane at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
You crushed my knee, was your toes, you broke my ribs.
It was your nose.
Ah, yes. I remember it well. You sacked me once.
I sacked you twice.
In pouring rain.
No, it was nice.
Ah, yes.
When you go, don't forget your Visa card, because the Hall takes the NFL's best, but not American Express.
Ah, yes.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Someday, my office will have a window. Someday, my boss will be me. Someday, I will meet the man of my dreams. Guess not today.
The Chevy Camaro's 200 horsepower 3800 V6. Therapeutic, isn't it?
Back at the Cotton Bowl, 8:07 to play in the fourth quarter. Texas leading Oklahoma 24-13. I'm Mark Jones along with John Spagnola and Dean Blevins. James Brown in at quarterback for the leading Longhorns. He's number 5. 2 years ago, he played well against Oklahoma in this game, leading them to victory. Out of Beaumont, Texas. He has quieted all of his critics this afternoon. 19 of 29 for 196 yards and a touchdown pass. He hands it off that time to Ricky Williams, who's brought down by Tanner and Chase.
Yeah, Chase just came right through, slanted in front of that offensive line, knifed into the backfield and made a big stop behind the line of scrimmage.
It'll be second down and 14 to go. James Brown, the quarterback out of Beaumont, Texas, as I mentioned. You know, there were rumblings, let's talk about it, in the black community in Beaumont, in Texas, that Texas would never play a black quarterback. And then there was the racist mail that he received. But he's persevered, and he's passing, and he's almost picked off.
Tyrell Peters breaking it up. That's the second time today we've seen Tyrell Peters showing his speed, operating in coverage down the middle of the field. Ricky Williams before was trying to beat him down the field, and that's no small task covering him. This time Derek Lewis tried to get him down the middle of the field. You see right here, matchup downfield. And Tyrell Peters runs downfield, number 45, turns, knocks that ball. That's great coverage. That's why he's a definite pro prospect. Out of Norman, Oklahoma. It's one thing to play the run in college. So many linebackers do, but you got to be able to play pass defense too. One of the few players, John, as you mentioned, that might be able to play at the next level defensively for Oklahoma. 3rd and 14 for Texas. The Sooners need a stop. Williams on the draw. And they're not going to get the first down. And they try to strip him. But he still carried half the Oklahoma defense 5 yards. Let's go downstairs to Dean Blevins.
Guys, this is an unusual situation here. Texas comes in as a 3-touchdown favorite. It's incredible to me that it's been 12 years since Texas has been a favorite. In the last 7, though, as an underdog, the Longhorns have gone 5-1-1. So Oklahoma goes as a favorite for like 11 years in a row to now a 22-point underdog. How quickly things change.
Yeah, but John Blake, Dean, trying to turn around for the Sooners.
Yeah, Andrew.
And believe me, the cupboard is pretty bare here at Oklahoma. They had 14 players drafted in the first round between 1976 and 88. Only one player drafted in the first round from Oklahoma in that period of time. And that was last year.
Hey, John.
Jones got drafted. I mean, that shows how low the talent is, Dean.
Yeah, and John, to follow up with that, I was visiting with a couple of the Oklahoma coaches 2 days ago, and comparing this club's defensive talent to those of, say, the 85, 86 teams of dominance, Brian Bosworth and Casillas, we talked to him earlier. They say 4 players on the 2 deep. That's 22 players. Only 4 players could make the 2 deep of those teams in 85 and 86. Now, I'm talking about the starters. This year's starters on defense, only 4 of them could make the 2 deep. So that gives you an idea of the talent drop-off.
Oh, yeah. One thing John Blake has done, though, is that the alums, including yourself, are returning back to the campus. They're welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma, to the practices, to the sidelines of games. See Billy Sims all the time around there. And, you know, I think that is a big way of showing that these players really care about the school. We saw Tony Casillas on the sideline here today. And, you know, that's going to help recruit because a lot of players, when they come to a school, say, they'll ask former players or current players, what do you think? And they're the ones that have to talk up their coach and the whole program. Dale Allen, the injured player for Oklahoma. And to footnote that story, John and Dean, a lot of the former players able to come back, and that wasn't the situation under the 2 previous regimes, Schnellenberger and Gary Gibbs. Things were a little bit standoffish, you might say. Yep. Dale Allen's the cousin of James Allen coming off the field. James having himself a great day. He's the first guy over to greet his cousin. Texas with the ball. It's 4th down and 14, and in comes their punter, Mark Schultes. That was a great defensive stand by the Sooners, though. They need to get the football back in 3 plays. They got it back quickly. They should get decent field position out of this, too. And Texas only burned about a minute off the clock, Mark, excuse me. Schultes punting. Gets up a high, towering spiral. Jackson eschews the fair catch, and he's got a lane down the outside. It could be a second one. J.J. has got it going like that. Jackson caught the ball, hesitated, headed down the sidelines. As we watch the replay, keep in mind, Oklahoma should go for 2 points. Once he gets a couple of blocks, it seems like the Texas coverage team got balled up in the middle of the field, and he goes down the sideline. And Oklahoma's going to go for 2 points here because they're down right now by 5. It would make it down by 3, and a field goal would tie. And, of course, we have overtime in college football now. You can almost feel their confidence growing. Fuente steps up to the line as they race out of the huddle and calls a timeout. Jackson has 2 touchdowns today.
The Sooners alive and breathing when we come back.
It's fall. That means two things. Football and projects. That's why we're having a True Value Kickoff Kick-In sale. We're kicking it off by kicking in bonus items and extra savings. So you can get all those projects done. Still have time to enjoy the season. Get True Tech TV Care Paint just $9.97, our lowest price of the year. We'll kick in a poster painted by an NFL quarterback free. True Value, official hardware store of the NFL and homes everywhere.
At BASF, we don't make the cooler. We make it cooler. We don't make the jeans. We make them bluer. We don't make the toys. We make them tougher. We don't make the water scooter. We make it lighter. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy. We make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
Their goals are as basic as a first home, an education, a secure retirement. Yet they own over half of all the stock in America. They are individual investors, and for them nothing is more valuable than information. Today, NASDAQ is delivering news about companies, performance tracking, even tiny stock quotes, instantly. So if you're an investor who seeks vital information, you now know where to find it.
Dick Winder not real happy, lost the element of surprise, and he lets Justin Fuente know it. Steve Levens, you saw the formation, though. What do you think they might be trying to do with the two-point conversion? They're 1-for-1 this year. They've had a pass completion for a two-point conversion.
Well, I would think that Oklahoma would try to get wide. If they don't try to get wide, it'll be a tight end game. They've got a little play where they make a trap up in the middle and they hit the tight end on a little route toward the corner. So tight end or going wide will be what Oklahoma does, in my opinion.
All right, full house backfield. Allen, Chandler, and Fazandi. They fake it, and they convert it. Steven Alexander, the tight end. Boy, it helps have good scouting, doesn't it? Great execution by the offense. Steve Alexander lines up outside of the formation. Take a look, he's outside right on the right side of the screen here, and he'll work across the middle. The tight end gets held up. Freeze it right there for a second. That's where the ball's complete. This tight end got held up. This guy's wide open backside. The Texas defense spent too much time with the other tight end, and Alexander is able to come across. That's a second read for Fuente, and he executes the play perfectly. From Chickasha, Oklahoma. Bill Walsh called him the #1 prospect at tight end coming out of high school. That's the type of acclaim he had. He's already caught passes for over 100 yards in 2 games this year. This is what makes the Red River rivalry so very special, so time-honored, so unique. Dale Allen, we are told by Dean Blevins just moments ago, is out of the ballgame with an ankle injury. Jeremy Alexander getting set to kick off for the Sooners. They trail 24-21. Sean Mitchell and Mike Scarborough back to return for Texas. It was last year Oklahoma trailed 21-0. They stormed back to tie it. The final was 24-all. Alexander has got some thunder in that foot. Out of the back of the end zone. We'll take another look at the touchdown. Jason Freeman is the primary receiver. He gets held up and kicked into the corner of the end zone. From the backside comes Steven Alexander, and that's who Fuente absolutely has to look to at the second read. See how Freeman's held up, and he's held up. The backside, Alexander comes open, and they convert on the two-point conversion.
Darnell, his voice intoning impatiently. First and 10 from the 20. Backs out of the eye. Movement on that left side of the Texas line. Flags down. Well, folks, Monday night is the Battle of the Bays. Jerry Rice in San Francisco battle Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers in an NFC showdown on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. Yeah, that's going to be a great ball game. The question is whether Steve Young is going to play or not, of course, in that game. But, boy, those Packers are tough at home. I mean, they play to that crowd, too. And, John, a win for San Francisco, meanwhile, would give George Seifert his 100th career victory, and that would be the fastest coach to reach 100 career victories in NFL history. A look from the end zone. Mitchell and Williams out of the eye. James Brown, the quarterback. Sean Mitchell. Run out of bounds by number 9, Anthony Fogle. He ran about 30 yards, and he gained a couple. You know, this is an interesting situation. There's some similarities here between this game and the Notre Dame game, where Texas was up by 7 late in that game, and they ran the football effectively. They didn't run it at the end of the game, a lot of people felt, and McAvick came under some heat for not running the football, instead going to the pass end of the game. You know, James Brown turned the football over, and Notre Dame scored twice or 10 points in the last 6 minutes of that football game. A field goal with no time left, of course, won it. They got Williams in the game, along with 33, Priest Holmes, on 2nd and 11. Brown's going to pass. Complete to Ricky Williams, and he gets a good block from the tight end. Williams converts on 2nd down for the first down. 36 yards to his credit. Jerry White making the tackle. That's Ricky Williams' 4th reception today for 58 yards. He's really doing it in all facets of the game. And Mark, you called it. The ball gets out there. Now he dips inside, gets a great block by his tight end, Pat Fitzgerald. Right down on the ground, you see him. And then Ricky just heads on downfield. John, they talk about him being Little Earl, as in Earl Campbell. Was Earl that good a receiver in college? I don't think he got a chance to catch the football. Certainly not as much as Ricky Williams does in the balanced attack that McAvick uses. This is Priest Holmes cutting back after breaking a couple of tackles. Brought down by Broderick Simpson at the 41-yard line. James Brown, meanwhile, number 5, the quarterback for Texas, is 20 of 31 today for a total of 232 yards. And I talked about some of the barriers that he faced both at home and here at Texas. And he has done well. Well, his father had a big influence on him, too. Sure did. I'm going to Texas. 2nd and 8. Fitzgerald in motion with the block. Williams rocks right near the line of scrimmage. He fell forward for a gain of 1. Time permitting, stay tuned for the Fritzy Carmichael postgame report. Scores and highlights from across the country. Tanner making the tackle that time. You know, that was the same play they ran that they scored a touchdown on. They try to get that same wham block. The tight end's going to come in, get a wham block here. But watch the Sooner defense close on this play. Not nearly as executed as it was when he ran for a touchdown a couple of possessions ago. 3rd and 6. The Sooner defense needs to stop. Fitzgerald in motion. Brown trying to find number 82, Lewis, but it's incomplete. Wow. He looked left first, John, and there seemed to be a mix-up of some sort. Nobody was open, and he came back the other way. And he came back and threw a dangerous pass. And again, I'll draw another parallel to the Notre Dame game. That's exactly what he did, and there was a turnover against Notre Dame. There's Mike Adams working in the middle of the field. He's got his hands up. He thinks he's open, but, you know, there's 45, Tyrell Peters, who was underneath that. And that would have definitely been an interception had he tried to force the ball to Adams. Schultz is punting to Jackson, who's already won 1 back today. Schultz has 7 punts to his credit inside the 20. Let's see what he does here. He aims for the corner. Will they down it? No.
is the definitive answer. And I think the collective exhale by the Oklahoma Sooner crowd blew that ball into the end zone. Or they inhaled, rather. They're inhaling at that end, exhaling at the other end. And speaking of inhaling and exhaling, there's a freshman on the sidelines for Oklahoma, number 33, Damon Parker, who has no doubt used his asthma medicine, his inhaler today, to relieve some of the allergy problems, and he's run well. 22 times for 100 yards. Snap it, fellas. See, it's a pass play. They're taking their time. 4 wide receivers. Fuente to pass. Has his man open near the first down marker at the 30. Oklahoma with an 11-yard pickup. Gerald Williams with the catch. See, they broke the huddle there, and Texas wasn't in position, and, you know, Fuente's got to read the coverage, so he's got to wait for him, but I'd like to see him snap it once while they're still breaking the huddle defensively. Partner, Oklahoma came in a 20-point underdog. We knew it was going to be a good one. This is a series that you just don't put a number on. You just watch them play and enjoy it. 4 receivers, trips left. Fuente on the post. Incomplete, intended for Michael McDaniel. You know, another thing very clear today is every time, again, that Oklahoma's tried to go deep, they haven't been able to. They don't match up speed-wise on the wide receiver position. They just don't have the speed to beat the corners downfield. And through the mist is the star running back with the dreadlocks, Ricky Williams. He's worked hard today. 19 rushes for a total of 96 yards. 2nd and 10 for Oklahoma. They run it on long. And James Allen, still on his feet, unrelenting, unyielding. James Allen, finally brought down by Taji Allen. Well, we haven't seen Damon Parker at all here in the 4th quarter, and that's because James Allen, for one thing, is doing such a great job. Texas had problems all year with tackling and finishing plays with tackling, so much so that they had a tackling dummy on the sidelines of the game last week. They sure did. Fuente had it batted down at the line of scrimmage. He tried to find number 80, his tight end, Stephen Alexander, but Ray Mosier batted it down. Mosier is the guy we saw on the sidelines earlier, nursing an injury, but the emergency, the immediacy of this game, getting him back in. 3:52 remaining in the 4th quarter. Oklahoma is 33 yards away from scoring a touchdown. Keep in mind, Jeremy Alexander's hit 2 field goals today so far. And you know what, John? Just moments ago, I want to point out that Jeremy Alexander ran into the tunnel. Maybe getting checked out. Texas calling a timeout. They now have 1 remaining. Oklahoma with 2 timeouts remaining. You saw him run into the tunnel? And Dean Blevins is going to tell us more about it.
Well, I don't know how you really describe this. It reminds me of when Switzer ran off the field with the Cowboys at RFK a couple of years ago. Thought it was an emergency, and it was actually a bathroom stop. That's the same thing that has happened here to Jeremy Alexander with 3:52. He's headed through the tunnel to the John. Damon Parker is okay. He'll be shuttling in and out with James Allen.
Thank you. Thank you, Dean. Well, we do cover everything, don't we? I tell you, he ran pretty fast, too. Well, I'm glad he's back in time to kick the tying field goal. I'd hate to see them have to call his number and bring him out of the locker room. The nose of the ball is on the 33-yard line. Oklahoma trails Texas by 3 points with 3:52 to play. His longest so far this year, Mark, has been from 49 yards. So if he gets another 5 yards or so, he'll be within his range anyway. A look at what Allen and Williams have done respectively. That's James Allen for Oklahoma, Ricky Williams for Texas. Yeah, James Allen really came on, didn't he, in the second half and the 4th quarter here? You know, it's exciting to see. Good for him. Hanging in the program and playing well in such a big game. John Blake appealing to his pride, and here he is again, a proud warrior. James Allen
one down to the 30-yard line, gains 3 on the play, stopped by number 64, Casey Hampton. Hampton is filling in for Chris Akins. It'll be 3rd down and 7 to go. Brandon Daniels, number 8, coming into the game for Oklahoma. Gerald Williams, starting receiver, coming out. 3rd and 7. Out of the backfield, Allen. He's got to get to the 22, and he's not going to get there. What a hit by Westbrook. He brought everything. You know, he is the hardest hitter on this defense, and he plays cornerback. This is why the pros are so in love with him. Let's listen to the hits that Brian Westbrook puts on James Allen. Captain Crunch. Wow. In for the field goal attempt is a relieved Jeremy Alexander, coming from 44 yards away. Last year, he had an opportunity to win it for the Sooners, and he failed. This year, in a clutch situation, he converts it to tie the game at 24 apiece. And isn't it great to see special teams come through for the Sooners? The punt return for the touchdown, now a field goal, 3 for 3 today. After all the problems they've had all year with special teams, the special teams have put the last 10 points on the board here for the Sooners. One more look. Last year, Alexander was 12 for 12 before missing the potential game winner against Texas. It took him a while, admittedly, he says, to get over it. It took him some 2-3 weeks. But this year, there will be no anguish. There will be no agony, and we are potentially looking at overtime. That's right. We've been flirting with it all year, and here it is. Teams get equal possession. The offense begins on the opponent's 25-yard line, and you just keep on going until somebody scores more than the other. But keep in mind also, the Longhorns had an excellent 2-minute drill right before the half. We know they can execute. They've done it already today, and you know that this is not a situation that they shy away from with their offense. Yeah, with time winding down in the first half, John Blake's defense gave in to John Makovich's offense, and Mike Adams caught a touchdown pass. And John Blake talking things over with Dick Winder just in case they get the football back. Again, Texas with 1 timeout left. On the Texas State Fairgrounds at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. A team with 7 consecutive losses, the most ever in the storied program at Oklahoma. Looking to snap that agonizing string today. Scarborough. Still on his feet. Run out of bounds at the 27-yard line with 2:17 to play. And John Blake is getting his troops fired up. Well, what Fred Akers said certainly is going to bode true. I guarantee John Blake will never forget his first game as the head coach for the Sooners against Texas here in the Battle of the Red River. Man, what a ball game. He'll be able to mark this one down, if for no other reason than posterity. Blake, the former head coach, assistant coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, with the ball at the 28. You see the time, you see the score. Williams and Holmes in the backfield. Brown to pass. Ruled incomplete at the 30, intended for Ricky Williams. It'll be 2nd down and 10. The clock stops with 2:12. Terrence Malone providing the coverage. James Brown today, folks, 20 of 33 for a total of 232 yards and a touchdown. And he executed that drive before the half, Mark, 82 yards in 1 minute and 21 seconds. So they're well within their range and their ability to be able to move the football. But that was the first half, and this is a pumped-up Sooner defense. Much more urgency now. Brown under pressure, and he ruffles wisely, gets it away for positive yardage up near the 25. What a play by James Brown. Rod Manuel made the tackle on the play. I don't know how he got rid of this football. It looked like he almost broke his ankle. Rod Manuel came in through a stunt, got his ankle, and twisted him around. That had to hurt. And he's hurt a little bit, I bet. I'm thinking, man, how did he come through? But Rod Manuel on a stunt inside with Kelly Gregg came free up the middle of the field. The clock running down with 1:31 to play. 3rd and 14 for the Longhorns. And Oklahoma's defense tells the officials, we want to talk about it. John, they only had 10 men on the field. Same problem they've had with substitutions this year. They had too many men on the field in a field goal last week. The Kansas kick missed, kept the drive alive, and here they only had 10 men on the field. And they took measures before the game, John, to try and get players on the field, enough players on the field, too. They talked about it time and time again. Today, the day before, and the day before that. You know, they have a mat on the sideline for special teams today. There it is. That they were using to try to number somebody's lined up for special teams today. That's a new approach, isn't it, Team Blevins?
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I heard that one of the radio call-in guys back in the Oklahoma area suggested with all the problems Oklahoma had of having 11 men on the field. You know, sometimes they had 10, sometimes they had 12. He said, hey, just buy 11 helmets. you know, they're in if they have a helmet on, they're not if they don't.
Well, you heard of the Texas two-step. This is the Oklahoma 22-step right here. You got 11 guys with 2 feet. Looks like one of those Arthur Murray dance studio things, doesn't it?
Hey, guys.
I'll be number 9. Yeah, Dave.
Interesting that both teams wasted timeouts, if you will, defensively, and Oklahoma let about 20 seconds go off the clock before using one there. So interesting usage of the timeout.
Well, actually, that's because they had 10 men. They recognized right when the play or the Texas broke the huddle that they were short in their situation substitution game. You can almost hear the ghost now of Johnny Jones, Brian Bosworth, Billy Sims, Peter Gardere, all the great players that participated in this game. 3rd and 14 for the Longhorns. 1:26 to play. Brown is going to try and do it through the air. And he's almost picked off by Broderick Simpson, throwing into the teeth of the defense. They'll have to punt. And that's one that Simpson would love to replay. That's again, Brown waited and waited until his receiver came open. But again, here's how he threw the ball. It looks like he pushes this again. Let's take a look at just his motion. Now it's a good snap release. From up here, I thought he pushed it like he had been earlier this year. And at the last second, you see Simpson come across and bat that thing away. Good defense by the Sooners. The 2-minute drill doesn't work for the Longhorns. All right, John Schultz is into punt from his own 11. Gets off a high spiral. Jackson has run one back, but this time he plays it safe, calling for the fair catch at the 45. They're 55 yards away from the end zone. Oklahoma, a 20-point underdog, winless in its last 7 games. Genuine Chevrolet MVPs in the game are James Brown from Texas and James Allen, that guy in your screen, from Oklahoma. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievement and to assist those in financial need. It's been a Chevrolet tradition for more than a quarter of a century. Keep in mind that Jeremy Alexander, the place kicker for Oklahoma, is 3 for 3 today. James Allen has done yeoman work, yeoman service in the backfield, and it's his turn now. Allen down to the 45. Humphrey with the tackle. Allen with 141 yards rushing. And Oklahoma can take their time. They're in positive territory now. They're on the Longhorn side of the football field. So again, they need to get around that 30-yard line and they can try a game-winning field goal. Jeremy Alexander waiting for his chance. Incomplete to the tight end, Stephen Alexander, stopping the clock with 37 seconds to go. Jeremy Alexander, folks, the place kicker for Oklahoma, is 3 for 3 today. He's made field goals, areas on the sidelines, from 31, from 35, and from 44. Last year, he missed a potential game winner. He would cherish the opportunity for another chance. 4 receivers. Allen gets to the perimeter. Still on his feet. James Allen. But there's a flag down. Hold on. There's a flag down back at the 45. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be holding against Oklahoma. One lone solitary piece of linen stands between Oklahoma and its chance maybe for a touchdown. Here's the call.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from foul.
I have never heard a stadium break out in spontaneous cheers and boos like I have here today, especially on this play. It's right here on number 67, Derek Nelson. Looks like he gets tangled up with the defensive tackle. There he is blocking. Yeah, he gets locked up there on number 52, the defensive tackle there for Texas. That was Cedric Woodward who got the holding call against him. A look of dismay for John Blake. Fuente, a dangerous throw to the wide side of the field, incomplete. 3rd and 10, 23 seconds to go, intended for Jarrell Jackson. Man, this guy can't buy a break, can he? Oh, the penalties come at the worst time. There's a great play. He's upset. It'll be 4th and 10. Fuente comes back. And he's trying to go to the right side of the field, yeah. I mean, he had something going there, but the ball was late, and they're going to wind up punting the football. Texas has blocked one today. They blocked 2, 1 for a touchdown. Lewis gets this one off, and he just sends this one out of bounds inside the 20-yard line with 16 seconds to go. Ricky Williams, Little Earl, has done stellar work today for the Longhorn offense. Oh, I wonder if these people here know the overtime rule. 16 seconds left in the game. We have to take him to school here, Mark. Yep. I mean, I don't think Makovic on the 11-yard line wants to take any chances turning the football over. I think he's willing to roll the dice and go drive after drive from the 25-yard line. Big scores there in the Big 12 today. Is that Texas Tech with a win? Did I see that? And tonight, Colorado taking on Oklahoma State. I'm Mark Jones, along with John Spagnola and Dean Blevins. For those of you just tuning in, this has been a very riveting, compelling day. The story of a team winless in its last 7 games, recapturing a little bit of pride. It's tied at 24 apiece with 16 seconds to play in the 4th quarter, and the Sooner defense is still hitting hard. And this is the Notre Dame game all over for Texas. 10 points given up late in the 4th quarter, and they're going to wind up going overtime. Well, if 60 minutes wasn't enough for you, we'll give you a little more. Tied at 24 in the 91st edition of the Red River War. How do you like it, John Blake?
Chances are, you're going to put more money into their teeth than your Chevy Lumina. Because today's Lumina is so low maintenance, it can actually go 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. And for you, that's one less thing to worry about. The cars more Americans trust. Finding oneself alone in this world can be terrifying.
Poor thing, he must have fallen out.
His born-on date told me he was quite young, and I knew I must return him to his family to ensure he's consumed at optimum freshness.
I don't see him, do you?
Excuse me, he's lost.
Lost here coming through.
See him? We'll find him any minute. I can feel it. Excuse me. Don't give up.
Hey, who's missing a bottle? Got a lost bottle here.
Budweiser. Brewery fresh taste. Strictly enforced.
Don't worry, little fella. We'll find him.
Back. 2 minutes. 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 2 for the coin toss as we get ready to start overtime. John, isn't it ironic that last year's game ended 24-24? This is where we pick it up in 96.
That's exactly right. It's like, okay, now we put this rule in so we can get this thing settled for everybody down here. But the coin toss is a very important part of the overtime. If you win the toss, you can play defense, and every coach I've told so far has said they like to play defense first, see what the other team does in terms of points, 3 or 7 points, and then they get a chance to match it. And of course, you mentioned earlier, if the defense scores on the first possession, it's automatically over. Yeah, the defense scores, exactly. Then the game is over. If there's a turnover, then the other team who gets the turnover gets the football at the 25-yard line. They go in. So there's a lot of new rules here. We'll walk you through everything. Let's go downstairs to Dean Blevins. Dean?
Guys, during the timeout there, John Blake had an earful of the official. His claim was that the flag thrown when James Allen sprinted out to the 1-yard line was thrown after Allen was some 15 yards past the line of scrimmage on the holding call. And quite frankly, I don't have a monitor down here, can't see it, don't know if you guys can, but there, I guess there you see it, guys. John, Mark will let you take it from there, but he was adamant in his statement.
Well, there's no question. I mean, there was a hold on the play, and there's a look at the head coach. The question is, how soon or how late the play came out, and he does give the official an earful, but Cedric Woodward was held on that play.
Well, if the guy's held, he's held. I agree with you. Yeah. It's a call. You don't want it to be called late, but if it's a hold, it's a hold. Part of Blake's frustration, and I know John, he told you and I this in his office a couple of days ago, is he really felt in 2 games prior to this there have been very questionable calls against Oklahoma, but he felt there was no position to be complaining, with his team losing by 20 points.
Yeah, and you don't want the officials getting down on you and calling penalties against you, but you're right. There was a miserable call last week against Jason Freeman that denied a touchdown by Oklahoma. So, it's just when things go bad in this game, they go real bad. And for John Blake, the man's just trying to get a break right now and win his first football game.
They're going to get the choice of the coin. If you win, you'll get the choice of offense, defense, or into the field you wish to play. If you win the coin, you'll get that choice. Okay? Now we'll go live. Captain, it's good choice.
Little rehearsal.
Call Taylor. Your choice. Which end of the field? You'll be on offense first.
So you heard it. The Oklahoma Sooners won the toss, and they will play defense first, and they'll get the win. We'll return with more action with the Texas Longhorns in Oklahoma after this word in our ABC stations.
Have you ever wanted someone so badly you couldn't see the forest for the trees? I'm not going to destroy you like I do everyone. An all-new Second Noah, ABC Saturday.
From behind the wheel, you might think of Dodge Caravan as a car. Probably because in some ways it is. Its cab-forward, wheels-to-the-corners design makes it stable and sure-footed, a lot like a car. Its advanced suspension makes it nimble and agile, a lot like a car. With all the utility of a spacious 4-door van, all of which suggests we got the name right. Caravan. Just as original as the original.
In Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, people drive for miles around just to see Don Ballard. Because when it comes to car repair, well, there's not much he can't fix. You see, Don's the type of guy who believes that doing a job right and saving money go hand in hand. So he begins each job with a trip to AutoZone. Sure, it's a 20-mile drive. There are other parts stores along the way. But for Don, when it comes to getting the right part for the right price, just no place better than AutoZone.
Hey, I've got 3 good reasons why you should buy a Chevy S10. 1, 2, 3. See? I told you. Fact is, the Chevy S10 is the only compact truck to come with this new 3rd door. Plus, it's a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. And this is a truck that comes standard with an airbag, 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, and a stereo. So see your North Texas Chevy GO dealer today, because owning an S10 is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
This is News 8 Now, the spirit of Texas.
The Red River is 60 miles to the north of this place, the Cotton Bowl. It's the Red River Shootout. Right now, Texas will have the first possession on offense in overtime. Oklahoma winning the toss, electing to go on defense. The ball is on the 25-yard line. Texas with the wind at its back. Williams and Holmes behind the quarterback, James Brown. Back to the offset eye. Brown, incomplete. You know, that was the question I wondered. Would John McAfee go for the knockout punch right away, try and hit a big play, or would he just try and drive the football? Overtime rule is sudden death. Teams get equal possession. There's no sudden death. So after whatever Texas does, Oklahoma gets a chance to match. The offense, as you see, begins on the 25, and you keep going. You roll 4 downs, you make first downs, and you go to the goal line. And after the first overtime, if one team isn't ahead of the other one, you repeat the process until one team finally is ahead. Second down and 10. Ricky Williams spinning outside and brought down by the shoestrings by number 51, Broderick Simpson, who in the end of the regulation period made a key play to bat a ball down from Mike Adams. That's right, across the middle. Broderick Simpson having himself a great fourth quarter in overtime. Number 51, right here, Ricky Williams is going to break it outside. It's hard to bring him down, but right there, he's got some open field in front of him. And Broderick Simpson makes a great play. Now this, you know, if Texas doesn't get any more yards, it's going to be a long field goal for Phil Dawson. He has kicked several field goals over 50 yards in his career. He has one to his credit this year. James Brown doesn't like what he sees and burns a timeout. 3rd and 11 when we come back. It's Makovich's call next.
I heard someone say what will they think of next. And I thought, how wonderful it is to imagine that someone is out there thinking of things. And that's their job, to think of something that no one has ever thought of. And all we have to do is wait and wonder, what will they think of next?
The Chrysler Cirrus, Concorde, and LHS, bringing what's next from the cab-forward engineering of Chrysler.
That means 2 things. Football, projects. That's why we're having a True Value Kickoff Kick-In sale. We're kicking it off by kicking in bonus items and extra savings. So you can get all those projects done and still have time to enjoy the season. Get True Tech TV Care Paint just $9.97, our lowest price of the year. We'll kick in a poster painted by an NFL quarterback free. True Value, official hardware store of the NFL and homes everywhere.
Back to the overtime in a moment, but what a comeback by Arizona State against UCLA. Jake Plummer to J.R. Redmond, and then Redmond tosses it right back to Plummer. The quarterback does a terrific job to get it to the end zone. 1-point lead, and then Jake Plummer on the ground from a yard out. Right now they lead by 8. Mark.
Wow. Back here, we're in overtime. Texas started with the ball. It's 3rd and 11. You know, that's Arizona State playing on the road for the first time. What a difference it is for them playing on the road as opposed to home. They've been involved in some shootouts. Backs out of the eye. Williams and Holmes. Adams is in the slot left. Holmes in motion. They've got to get to the 15. Brown is on the run. Lays it up into the end zone. Through the arms of his intended receiver, Holmes. Holmes might have been the most surprised person on the football field as that ball got through Terrence Malone's hands and actually wound up in his. He had an opportunity to catch that pass. You know, when the ball was up in the air, I thought, if there's an interception here, Oklahoma can simply win with a field goal in their possession in overtime. You don't want to turn the football over in overtime. But watch this. Malone goes up. It goes right over him and right into Priest Holmes' hands.
He might have been a little surprised it got through. Now, I don't think he saw the ball till the end, though. John from 43 yards out, Phil Dawson. He's made one today from 47. He's missed one from 43. He is a big-time kicker. Last year he beat Virginia at the wire. And here it comes. Ooh. No problem for Phil Dawson. Ice in his veins on that one. So Texas takes a 3-point lead, but hold on. Oklahoma has an opportunity to equal or better. They do get a possession. One more look at Phil Dawson. Well, this is as true and as smooth a kick as you'll see, especially with all the pressure. As you mentioned, the one against Virginia beat him last year. It was into a stiff wind, and it was over 50 yards. That one with the wind behind him had no problem at all. And this is like a poker game. You know, you have an ante, you put your money down, and now you got to either match it or you got to raise the ante. Tell you something about Phil Dawson, number 4 right there. He hurt his leg lifting weights in February. Had 5 months of rehab, changed his motion to make it more compact, and he feels he is a better kicker. There are some coaches that do not like overtime. There will be one who won't like it today, I'll tell you that. Oklahoma's turn now. 1st and 10. James Allen gets to the corner. Allen appears to have the first down near the 15. James Allen had a 49-yard run called back because of a hold that might have given Oklahoma the win in regulation moments ago. They went right back to the same play, running over their left side of their offensive line, running to the right side of the Texas defense, and if that ball is past the 15-yard line, which it is a first down. A look at the defensive coordinator. So now they're in great field goal range, and now they can try and get the football in the end zone. Gary Darnell, the defensive coordinator for Texas, John, facing a lot of heat. 1st and 10, and Oklahoma is in Texas's end of the stadium. Allen, off tackle to the right side of the line, down to the 13. Hampton making the tackle, and as I mentioned moments ago, as you look at the stadium, Oklahoma on offense in Texas's end of the stadium. It is split right down the middle.
Yeah, it sure is right here. This is Texas side, this is Oklahoma side. Right now, here's where all the action is. And there are a lot of empty seats in the house because everybody's standing. Man, everybody is just standing, enjoying this football game, and wondering if the Sooners are going to get the touchdown or try a field goal attempt. You know, they can just keep running the football and try to get the football in the end zone that way. They really don't have to risk anything with a pass play. But again, that puts the pressure on their kicker. He's 3 for 3 so far today. Jeremy Alexanders.
Phil Dawson, meanwhile, making a field goal moments ago from 43 yards out. He is 2 of 3 today. Burnt orange and white, crimson and cream on one side. Allen down to the 9-yard line, brought down by Mosier. Number 95, who came back into the game after being hurt earlier. Keep in mind now, the ball's on the right hash. They've had success running left, and you don't want to get the place kicker in a tough angle when you get down this far in the football field. So a lot of things at work here with John Blake, Dick Winder, and they may call a timeout. You know, they get a timeout, so they may consider what they want to do in terms of field position and where the ball is on the football field by talking it over with their coaches. They've got to get to the 3-yard line. I'll call it the 2.5-yard line for the first down. Monday night, Battle of the Bays. Jerry Rice in San Francisco, battle Brett Favre at the Green Bay Packers. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, Monday at 9 Eastern right here on ABC. We're in overtime, and Texas leads by a field goal. But Oklahoma has an opportunity to tie it or score a touchdown. And the coaches want a timeout on the sidelines. Nobody's watched. Finally, the players look over. They know that, you get a timeout every drive. Fuente's trying to figure out what the coaches want. If I'm John Blake, and there's an awful lot of discussion here amongst the officials anyway, despite the fact that Oklahoma wants a timeout. If I'm John Blake and I want a timeout, I'm not taking any chances. I'm setting up a flare on the sidelines. Here's the call. Trying to straighten this out. Our official, Tom Allers, to try and sort this thing out. Let's go downstairs to Dean.
Guys, confusion on the Oklahoma sidelines. They believe that it is second down.
Oh, it is second down, sure. And I mean, there was one play run, and that was for a first down. That was when Allen ran it for just over 10 yards. Then they ran another play, and the officials are going through right now. I can't recall another play, but almost brings back memories. Colorado in Missouri a few years ago when there was the notorious fifth down situation. Right. You see the left hand of the official right here. That's what they use to count downs. They use a little strap that they put around their fingers for first down, second down, third down. And I think in the overtime confusion, the official lost count. It's the referee, Tom Ehlers. And, I think the whole crew had a question as to what happened.
Guys, still confusion. One linesman here on the left 10 or left 12 has second down. The other has third. Unbelievable that, I'm down here, I'm having trouble keeping up with the downs, but it's unbelievable that the officials don't know what down it is.
Well, the first play, Dean, was 11 yards.
Right.
And a first down. The second one was Allen for 2, and the third play was 2 yards. So it should be third down. You're right. It is third. Allen ran to the left side for 2 yards, then he ran to the right side for 2 yards. So it's third down. I stand corrected on that, and the officials should be too.
Dick Winter is more upset over the stoppage of play. He likes his fast-paced offense where it takes 5 seconds to run a play. He's as perturbed about that as he is what down it is.
Well, I think he should call timeout. I mean, they should get the timeout once they sort out this and get his quarterback over, settle his team down, and get them to run the kind of play they need to run, either get the ball in the middle of the field or to try to get the ball into the end zone. After all that discussion, it is indeed third down and 6. And you saw that strap around the officials, the referees, Tom Ehlers, it was around the third finger. This guy's still wondering. He's hanging on. The guy holding the down marker on the sideline isn't quite sure yet. There we go. There we go. He wanted verification. And how they sprint out of the huddle. Third and 6. Fuente, Allen, nice move. He's got the first. James Allen with a little Sooner magic. No flags on the play. And James Allen looked back and said, that one stands. Chris Carter, 16, is in coverage one-on-one with Allen. Allen will go out here. They're 16 in coverage, and he misses the tackle. This is plagued the Texas defense all year long against Virginia, against Notre Dame. Allen makes him whiff with a good move inside, takes it upfield and gets the first down. And now Oklahoma can win this football game outright. First and goal. Full house backfield. The toss to James Allen. Cuts it inside. Touchdown Sooners. The Sooners win.
Your emotions right now.
I just got one thing to say, Dean. God is the reason why this team is going to come back. Jesus Christ is working through me and working through my kids. And that's all. He deserves all the credit, Dean.
60 miles away to the north lies the Red River. It meanders across the Texas plain. It separates Oklahoma from Texas. Well, the Sooners have transgressed the border, stormed into Dallas on the state fairgrounds, and smashed the dreams of the nationally ranked Texas Longhorns. They win 30-27. And a look now at the Big 12 standings. The North Division, Nebraska undefeated. Texas now joins the ranks of defeated teams in the South. And more importantly, Oklahoma, John, 1-1 with their first win of the year. And you know what? John Blake will never forget his first game as Oklahoma head coach. Secondly, this has already been a successful season for the Oklahoma Sooners. 1-4, first win of the year. They don't need to win another football game of the year to be able to capitalize on what happened here this afternoon. It's about trying to recruit athletes from the same common territory. It's about competing. It's about the Sooners now trying to rebuild a one-story program, a program that has bottomed out. But they brought back one of their own into the fold. His name is John Blake. And he's doing it the Sooner way. John, some final thoughts. You can't help but be a man of faith after you see what John Blake went through. His hopes were dashed when James Allen scored an apparent touchdown at the end of regulation, only to be called back by a penalty. He gets a second chance. His team gets a second chance in overtime, and they capitalize it when Texas does not score a touchdown. And I think Texas fell asleep at the end of this game, much like they did last year, and Oklahoma took advantage of it. Oklahoma wins 30-27. If you missed anything, catch it on AOL, keyword ABC Sports. Don't forget Monday Night Football, San Francisco and Green Bay. The jubilant Sooners take it home back to Norman. For Dean Blevins and John Spagnola, I'm Mark Jones. We hope you enjoyed it.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
You know what mentoring means? It means regularly sharing your interests with a child. Find out more and make a difference. Children first.
Saturday! On an all-new coach, is Luther losing Doris to some hot Latin stud?
You think there's something going on between them? Not necessarily saying there's something going on.
But what are you saying?
I think they're having an affair.
Man, lawyer's briefs never looked like this before.
Nice legs. Maria, that reminds me, I need more pencils.
Catch Common Law after Coach, ABC Saturday.
Which pickup, do you suppose, has the most powerful gasoline engine, the most powerful diesel, the most cab room, the most available towing, the most available payload, better resale value than Ford, Chevy, or GMC? If you guessed